Hi, guys.
Howdy ho.
This is why you beta test stuff before you put it out as a full product.
Okay, it should be going out now, David.
There it is. I can hear it on the stream going out. Hi, I'm Dave Dawson. Welcome to Intellectual University. As I was saying as a mute before, we're beta testing a new presentation system. This is Chill Events, and so we're still working out some kinks. If you are following us on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, please make sure that you type in the comments if you're not hearing things or if things don't seem to be working for you, and we'll see what we can do to correct it or certainly work on it for future presentations. Today we're going to be reviewing the film Convolution, which we did for the San Diego 48-Hour Film Project a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, it was brought up to me that today's like right about the time we did it 3 years ago, right in between my birthday and Teresa's birthday, as a matter of fact, which is in fact where we're at right now as well, right in between our birthdays.
Happy birthday, guys. I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday.
That's fine, Steve. Let me introduce our film team, starting with our director, Teresa Dawson Davis. Hello, Teresa.
Hello. Hi.
Joe, if we can get that grid view up, that'd be good. Or there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
And sitting with Teresa there is Mike Peterson.
Hello.
Mike, were you our DP on this one?
I was.
Very good, very good. And then assisting you as DP was Michael Shane, yeah?
Yep, this was the first time that we all worked with Mike. I brought him along, thought he was going to be a great asset to our team after working with him on a little Star Wars film. And little Star Wars with little mini Gatorade bottles.
Cool.
And,
well, hello, Michael Shane.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I can't complain.
You can't complain. That's a new one. Also joining us are our wonderful makeup team, Becky Damaski. You need to unmute yourself there, Becky, and say hello.
Hello.
Hi there. And also joining us is Rachel Gallenberger. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, good.
I'm good.
We also have, let's see, keeping with the production staff, our sound recordist, Brian Keith Davis.
Hello, everyone.
I'm trying to wait and see if you pop up. There you are. Hey, he's in the Toy Story.
Hey.
And also joining us is Stephen Schwartz.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Who, as he often does on many of our projects, served as, both a crew member and a actor.
Yes.
And then we've got a couple of our performers in the house. Mr. Mark Allen. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
We'll get you on screen there. There you are. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
There's just a little bit of a delay waiting for Joe to make the switches.
I'll get better at it as we go.
Got it.
And then moving along, we've also got the man who was essentially a voiceover actor in this film, but does make a brief and memorable cameo towards the end. Mr. Merrick MacArthur. How you doing, Merrick?
How's it going?
It's going good. So Convolution is Teresa's film. So I'd like her to kind of take over a little bit here and tell us a little bit about the story and what the movie's about and kind of how we got to making it.
Okay. Wow. It was part of the 48-hour film contest, which we decided to do for our birthdays so we could hang out with our friends. So we were really going into this to have some fun, do something, and kind of go out with a bang. Really make a statement, I think, no matter what that was. Honestly, I don't even remember what genres we got. I think we got sci-fi, maybe, right?
It's like sci-fi and mystery, I think.
Sci-fi and mystery, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
Or cop drama, maybe.
Buddy cop, maybe. Might have been buddy cop or something like that. But
and as usual, we tried to combine the two, right?
Combined it, we throw it all together. But we had we decided we were going to use everything at our disposal. So I mean, we had special effects artists and some amazing actors and great crew, and we had very specific locations that we just kind of wrote, with what we had available to us. It was a whole lot of fun, and it was the first time I got to be back on set, actually, after going on hiatus for a few years because I was taking care of mom and stuff. So
well, you were taking care of mom, plus you had Sean, who was very young for many, many of those years. So between those two duties as a mother and a caretaker of our mother, you just didn't make it on set. So we brought you back in a big way and brought you in to direct this one. This was your second film you've ever directed, right?
Yes, this was the second one I directed. Yeah. So after taking hiatus, I'm like, sure, I'll direct. Why not? I sort of directed. We more had fun. And I let all the wonderful actors do what they do. And I had, Mike and Mushy, who are amazing. And I think I sort of directed. Not really. But, it was fun. And I had a good time.
Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead and watch the movie together? And hopefully Joe can make this all work.
You want to just tell me when to launch?
Let's go ahead and launch it. We're going to talk as we watch it, guys, as we always do. I can't hear the movie yet, but I don't know if there's music yet. Do we hear it? I don't hear it, but we can talk about it whether we hear it or not.
Strange.
I remember one of the things we really wanted to do is kind of go crazy with our credits on this film.
Yeah, so we had Mike Smith and Lindsay, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had both. So yeah, we're like, we want really good graphics for our credits at the beginning and at the end.
Why? Why don't you have
There's
to run?
Larry and Mark.
Same reason. They're all innocent, I guess. Yeah, sure.
How many times did we make you do that run, Mark?
Look, he's headed into that strip mall. Yep.
I think it was
Time to split up.
about
You
10
head around
times.
east end.
Felt like it.
I'll head west.
That might be real breathing. That
Divide
might
and
be,
conquer.
not acting right there.
After all this
Problem
time,
is, I
it
didn't
still
know he had
works.
a hurt back.
Yeah, I hurt my back shortly before that.
Yeah.
These were some of the very first shots that we shot.
Hey, Joe, I'm the only one showing up. There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
Where's the fire? Seriously.
Hey, you okay?
No,
I am not okay. You two in that
That's
back room
Whitney
now.
Wegman, Kayla
Wait.
Sweet, and Jeff
There are
Zook.
two very rough gentlemen
and,
who are going to come
Steve
by
Froelich.
looking for me. And you are going to make sure that they leave. Or your friends here are going to pay. Understand?
I remember, Teresa, this was kind of an interesting shoot because
good.
I was the writer
You two in the back. Now,
and
now!
executive producer, but for once not the director. And there was a little bit of adjustment for everybody and kind of understanding who to go to when they had questions about characters.
Yeah, but that's understandable.
I will kill this woman.
We change roles a lot, so sometimes it's hard for me.
You're Jerry Larson. They've been looking for you for weeks.
I love that bit where
You
Steve
killed that
runs into
security
Larry.
guard.
No, I didn't.
Don't shoot me, please don't shoot me.
That was the prop, the
I need
aluminum
you to be
foil.
quiet.
And
Yeah.
I do not want to hurt anyone, and I have
Like,
not.
this is all Canfield, right?
Yeah,
this
it's all me.
She won't give you up.
And black stripe on the wall is a remnant of our Bring It On shoot in that same space.
Not like
Oh,
me. There aren't very many heroes left in this world anymore. That's because you killed them all. Are you stupid? Seriously. If you really believe that I killed this guy,
This was
you
the
think
first
it's
time we
time to
worked
piss
with
me off?
Zook, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Zook
So you didn't
and
kill anyone.
Froelich,
The dude,
right?
Yep.
They showed a video. You killed that man.
I know, I saw it, but I wasn't even there. It couldn't even been me. I just... Never mind.
This movie's got such a complex narrative structure, and it's a lot of moments of exposition.
They're coming.
That's great. Now just do what I told you and we're all getting out of here alive. Don't tell them anything.
I know. I won't tell them anything. I don't think you can.
I remember this scene here,
Lady,
like,
that's what I've
there
been
was so
telling you.
much
I am
debate
not a
about
killer. I've done some shitty
Whitney
things in my life,
touching
but I've been
Steve
legit for a while.
and
Maybe
how
open up
he'd
a restaurant.
react.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off me! I may not
And we
be a
had to
killer, but I am
basically
still
tell him, look, man,
dangerous."
I'm sorry.
she's got to touch you because she's got to get your DNA. You know, like,
Oh, yeah, there
He's
is
like, but I
no
wouldn't let her
way
touch me.
I
And I'm
killed
like,
that security guard. No way.
yeah, but you gotta let her touch you.
Look, the
That's
video
the
shows
story
I
of it.
don't care what's on that video.
It's all
That
the
was
little
case
subtle
switching.
things in the background
The
with the
business
acting
was
with
a
Whitney
front.
and
They were
Jeff that you
smuggling
don't
in rare
really
jewelry through
pay
their
attention
gear,
to the first
slipping
time
it
you
in
see
through
it
customs.
until the second
Right
time.
here.
It's really
Yeah.
key.
The,
Who would
the knowing
suspect that a
glances and
speaker
stuff.
cabinet from
Yep.
a corporate
Yeah, this
conference
is
before
definitely one of
contract.
those. If you watch it
And
more than
I even
once,
figured out
you'll
how to get in
catch a
without
lot of
triggering
the
the
little
alarms.
subtle things for sure.
Killing the security guard.
There is no way. Don't you understand? The
Well, I like
security
that
guard is my
Steve
partner.
was really careful
Case
about not
switching.
messing up the
Just hadn't figured it all out yet.
blood.
Yeah.
Well, howdy, ma'am.
Hello.
We're looking for
Larry's
someone.
eye is
Have you
amazing
seen
in
this
this.
man?
This is my favorite
no,
part of the whole
nope,
thing.
can't
When
say that
Larry
I
pulls
have.
up the thing to his bad eye.
Are you sure, ma'am?
Oh, he has a
Absolutely. The
little
only thing
post-it
that's
note,
happened
right?
here today
Yeah,
is
right
the
here.
Right here.
adaptive toilet.
He's using his good eye to look at it.
Well, I won't ask to use your
That was, I
facility.
think
It'd
that
been
was
funny
the
if he
one
tried
thing
to
I
initially
directed.
look with his other eye.
Call 911
One
if you
time
see
I
him.
directed.
He's definitely in the area.
Will do.
Whose
Thanks,
idea was it
officers.
for Larry to be missing an eye like that?
Well, you guys said to like
You did
go
great.
all out, you know,
Just
because
won't take
I
you a
didn't
bit
really
longer
have
and I'll
much
leave.
to do, so it's like, oh, give him like this really cool scar.
You might want to call an ambulance for his leg. Just wait a minute so I'm not here when you make that call.
Clark Smith just recognized that we used a number of
You
one-shots
wouldn't kill us.
through the sequences there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, Clark, when they're used correctly,
Now the two of you get
they can be quite effective.
I don't want you seeing which way I go.
Yeah, so you use a
Just in
handheld
case.
one shot to help with the intensity of the scene.
Bam.
I got a good impression.
Pew, pew.
We should have what we need now.
Okay, so here's Merrick's first cameo.
Do we have what we need?
We do.
I made the glove.
That's right.
Prepare for time
Now,
jump.
when we get to the end of the movie, I'm going to show you some images that are going to blow your mind about that glove trick.
I
There you
noticed.
go.
You know what I love about this part is when we get to this part, everyone goes, okay, this movie totally went a whole different direction.
Right. We had endless debates about how we were going to do this morph.
Yep.
Hmm.
Ta-da!
We shot them in front of a green screen, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was a very
The one up in University Heights.
Studio and
Studio unseen.
Now we
the ferret. Darth Ferret.
executing our plan and making us the richest creatures in all
Here,
of
this
history.
is the very first thing we want to do
Next
when we
assignment.
can't. We're coming up with this.
Prepare
Like, we
for
gotta
time jump.
We kind of built the whole story around this evil ferret.
So here's the thing: is we came up with the ferret idea in the middle of the night on Friday night,
Right.
and all the actors had gone home. Everybody had left to rest to show up the next day, and it was just a few of us left. And we were trying
And
to
the
come up
and the effects team.
and the effects team because they were staying with us, and we were trying to come up with what this, all being was going to be. I don't remember how
Well,
we
the-
came to a ferret.
Because the message thing, we kept calling something a ferret.
Oh,
We were
Yeah.
obsessed
It
with
was in
ferrets
our
at the time.
messages, yeah. So
Okay,
someone,
everybody-
Exactly.
that's
Oh,
right. So
there he is.
Here
Hold
it
on.
Hold on. Wait.
Hey, go back,
Oh,
Joe.
we lost it.
You like
You lost
that?
it.
You want that?
Yes, Joe.
God,
Oh,
Joe.
okay, I didn't know you wanted that.
Of course we wanted that. That's part of the movie.
Oh yes,
that.
the morph suits.
Go back. I want to see it.
You
Do
want
you
to
need
Eric,
to
you're
put it
such
back
a
on screen? We're
What
gonna
do you
finish
want to
out.
the ferret? He's not. Isn't it up?
That's the photo.
No, the photo of Merrick with.
That's the photo. I want to see the piece in the movie, Joe. Go back
It's
to the
a
movie.
Go back to the I don't know.
Post-credit scene.
It's
You
a
wanna go back to-
post-credits piece. It's our Marvel tribute,
Okay.
and you cut it off.
Oh man.
The movie was over.
It was not
It's
over.
not out over.
Not
Alright,
over
I'll-
until we say it's over.
I'll get it back up.
Are they?
Roll forward.
I'll go forward. Wait a minute. This is a slideshow doing up there.
Jesus.
I just
Oh,
love
let's watch it
everyone.
again.
I love it. I love the other teams that were at Studio Unseen coming over and like looking around the corner, going, "Why is Merrick in that
There he
march
is. There he
suit?"
is.
Oh,
There he is.
I,
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold
oh,
on.
see, I know what happened. I thought it switched to the slideshow. because
Okay,
that's
quiet.
what-
Okay. Yeah.
No ferrets harmed in the making of the picture.
Okay.
Wait, did you say this is a?
Let's start that over again.
Take 4.
Here it comes.
Here it goes.
Excellent. I'm sorry. Wait, did you say this is a ferret? A ferret. Do you know who I am? I'm Merrick fucking MacArthur. I don't play a ferret. What are you out of your fucking mind?
That's the most angry I've ever seen him.
So now it's over.
Yeah, now it's over. Now you can just take us back. Put all the
Lord.
I thought it switched to the slideshow, so I bailed out.
No. Merrick fucking MacArthur.
That was a hashtag after the screening for
It
Dave.
was.
I think Peggy started it too.
I imagine she did. Yeah, so Mikey was starting to talk about, we shot that stuff with Merrick at Studio Unseen. There were like 2 or 3 other teams shooting parts of their movies there. And we threw Merrick in the morph suit. There was no real reason to do it. Other than we just wanted people to think, are they mocapping Merrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah, when I
mocap it.
started putting the dots on your face, they're like, "Oh my god, they're gonna use
Oh yeah.
the green screen." Oh.
Just used to intimidate the other crews.
That's right.
Well, and the best part was we sent, like, this is the very last thing we shot. So we sent the
Everybody home.
entire cast home. There was only like 3 of us that knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So even the people that were like part of our team, they didn't know about it until they actually saw it at the screening.
Yeah, all the actors who were like talking to the ferret in the hand had no idea he was going to be a ferret.
Nope.
It was fantastic, and we didn't tell anybody.
Kept it all quiet.
It was a big surprise at the screening, which was so much fun. Merrick, do you remember coming in that night? Like,
well, yeah, I was gonna say, to be honest, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. I walk in, and either Mike or Teresa handed me this green suit, and I'm gonna change into it. I'm like, what? Why am I wearing? I had no idea what was.
I'm like, just go with it. We're trying to pay it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much fun. We had the best time keeping that secret because, obviously.
What was funny though was Jody. No one had posted photos. Jody takes a picture of Merrick in the green suit and posts it
With Tiki, yes, with Tiki. Yeah.
And that's when everyone goes, "What is going on? Why? Who's mocapping?" And everyone's like, "Well, the intellectuals are down here. Who knows what they're doing?" I'm like, "Ooh, okay."
Good press.
That's,
Yeah.
That's definitely a compliment.
Well, it was all about, it's all about building up that anticipation and creating some mystery about what we were doing. And I thought it was a blast. Especially when we got to the screening night and it gets to the end of the movie and you get the bit with Merrick screaming at everybody that he's Merrick fucking.
I think that got the biggest laugh or just uproar.
Didn't we bleep it on the
anything.
screening?
I don't remember. Did we bleep it? I don't think we
No,
did.
we bleeped it on this.
No.
We didn't? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it.
We talked about it and we said, "No, we're going out with a bang."
Hmm.
What are they gonna get mad at us? We're like, whatever. No, I loved it. I remember at the screening because I knew majority of the cast and crew had no idea about the ferret and they had no idea. And I just remember Mikey, Mushy and I just sitting there and we were just waiting for everyone's responses. And we were just watching all of our whole team, like
We all
when they
sat
first see the
like
ferret.
around each other too at the theater. And yep, it was
When they
good.
first saw the ferret. Yeah, so Becky's right. So that particular Facebook group we had for the contest earlier in the week, one late night, we all went into a really weird. We were joking around for probably about 2 hours on the Facebook chat. I remember like hundreds and hundreds of messages going through, and somehow we ended up with a ferret conversation.
Yeah.
It was gifts of ferrets left and right. We decided that was going to be our team mascot.
Yeah,
as I
we talked about
recall, there was
you
like
can
a
making
couple
logos
of
and
weeks
stuff.
of us just
Team
sending
ferret.
animated gifs of ferrets at each other like nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we-
thought
we
maybe we
talked-
would make it the logo and stuff. Like we wanted to make T-shirts.
We were gonna have like a little ferret in like a letter jacket or something. It was
Well, I got like, well, I couldn't find a ferret, but I think I found a squirrel or something just as a
You
joke. I'm like,
did.
yeah. I was like,
Now-
hey, here we go.
Now, Merrick, you were like originally working with another team that weekend, and for some reason, I think became free like Friday night, and we're reaching out to teams looking to see if anybody had need for you.
Oh,
I remember.
We were like, sure.
I remember you contacted us like right as we were coming down with this ferret idea.
Oh, really? Yeah, I forget. I don't know. I think that was one of the years where I was going to be a part of a few teams and didn't always end up. I don't recall.
Merrick, what is the record for your 1 weekend number of teams on a competition?
I think it's 4. I'm not sure. It's not like 10. Like people are like, oh, you were like 10 movies. I mean, no, it was like 4.
It was only like, yeah, it was like 9, 8. Sorry, 8.
So tell me, guys, as far as the movie, because I'm a little slow. What happened with Mark and Larry's character? Like, I didn't quite catch what was going on with those two at the end. Did they get killed by Steve? What was going on there?
They killed Steve.
They killed Steve.
And then where did they go?
I want you to know that I killed Steve. Very
because the one-eyed man that would have
Larry's like, yeah.
It would always go wide left.
Larry's aim's always a little off.
Yeah, they got their guy, so they were done. Their storyline was done. So that's when the whole storyline just goes a whole different direction.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's not. It wasn't a bounty hunter chasing whatever guy anymore. It was a whole other thing, right? Sort of.
I wish Larry was here because Larry has that story of afterwards he forgot he had the makeup on. He went into a store and
No,
He didn't forget.
He didn't forget.
He did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
I offered to take it off. Yeah.
He walked around Walmart. I wish.
Strangely, it goes unnoticed at Walmart.
Yeah.
We got our first real question from the audience. Clark Smith wants to know what's with the title.
Dave, you can answer that.
Oh my god,
David.
Okay, so I always try to find titles that are smart, and if you take the time to look them up, you understand why we use them. Convolution means a thing that is complex and difficult to follow, which is totally this movie. It's complex and it's very difficult to follow because it's a time warped jumble of these people are experiencing one thing with Steve, but Steve's in the situation he's in because they experienced that thing with Steve and then used it to frame him for the thing that he's in trouble for by jumping through time so that they could walk away with their, prizes as Steve's.
Yeah, so this sounds like a limited series type storyline. It's so much going on, and it's brilliant. But I really hope you guys are able to revisit it, and make it like a limited series story, and sell it to Netflix or something.
The further adventures of Merrick the ferret.
Yeah,
Dave,
I really did want to work with.
Take us
Larry
back to the
and
grid, Joe.
Revisit those two characters, the time cop characters.
Yeah.
Are they time cops?
Well, because I had the 1940s noir look, detective look, and he had this cowboy western look.
Yeah.
And so we thought, when we discussed it, Larry and I said, why don't we and talk to Teresa about it? We're from different times that have been paired together.
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
They were
Oh, in
time
the series, I could keep running into Larry Poole.
So we actually thought it would be kind of fun to do that at some point, revisit it.
Yeah. They were time cops, yeah.
I would highly
We could
recommend that.
combine it with Jansen and. Oh, go ahead.
What was that, Merrick?
I was going to say, I
Dave,
would
I
highly
remember-
recommend at this point in the industry, the way things are, I think chances are really good that you have to get some interest. So
Right?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
Yeah.
you be
I
the
was gonna
chief and
say-
say, get out of my office now. One of those things.
We can make an intellectual universe, or all the films are connected. And we can combine
Damn
it
it,
with
Mark,
our
I don't want to
Jansen-
hear your excuses.
We get Carl Backus and Mark Atkinson and bring in the Jensen and Jensen idea, and
Oh, so
We'll
funny.
just
laser
green-
cats.
We'll green screen Mark and Larry like running in background scenes of different movies, chasing.
through history.
They all tie in.
Does anybody remember how we got to that story of the time jumping bandits?
You were writing it, so no.
No.
Well, I wrote the script, but we still did our usual, like,
No, we did. We did. Our
everybody's heads together to come up with the idea thing.
This was one of those where it said, "Steve, go home. You're sleeping." So I wasn't involved.
Oh, that's right. You didn't help me write this one, did you?
No,
No, he didn't. No.
I was sent home to sleep.
I actually stayed up and helped you write this one.
So how do we get to it, T?
Oh gosh. I honestly think you and I were delirious and just thought we would go as obnoxiously weird as we possibly could. Like I really did. Like I knew we knew we were gonna do the sci-fi buddy cop kind of thing, and we, like I said, we knew we had our special effects team and we could do cool stuff, and just, I mean, we knew we had Larry and Mark. And we're like, oh look, we got cops, you know, and like I think we just took what we had and created the story based off of what was available to us, and we literally just went that way.
Right.
I do remember, like, I think it was about 2:30 in the morning. Mike Smith going, "Wait, are we actually really doing a ferret?" Like, he didn't quite.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we called him out and said, "Hey, come out here for a moment. We have an idea. We would really like a ferret in like emperor robes."
And we've been talking about
But not in
it
a cartoon way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Total
then we did-
sci-fi with all kinds of electricity and.
I remember him saying, hair's really difficult.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fur is hard to do in a weekend.
Yeah, we're like, well, but he's robed, and all you see is fur on the face.
And
you
it's a
know?
hologram. So
If it's a
like-
hologram, so it'll be low res. Yeah. Like we had to assure him that would be okay.
Yeah, and then he was all good, and then we're like, great. And he goes, oh, you're serious.
Well, and here's the beauty of working with Mike Smith, and I can't recommend Mike Smith enough. If you are in the business of making movies in San Diego or really anywhere else, Mike Smith is such a talented 3D artist, and he works so incredibly fast and so well with us. We told him that ferret idea middle of the night on Friday, and before we even got to Studio Unseen Saturday evening to shoot Merrick playing the part and recording the dialogue,
We already knew how he looked.
we already knew exactly how the character was going to look. We already knew what
Movement.
the effect looked like. He was already making the mouth move and animating the body movements. So once we got the voice from Merrick Saturday night, like it was just a matter of like really kind of syncing that up to Merrick's voice because the character was already done. Absolutely incredible. Mike Smith is, I can't recommend him enough if you're looking for visual effects people in town.
Speaking about visual effects on that hologram effect, Dave, you said you have some surprises that you found out about.
Do Joe, can you bring up the first of those two images on the hologram?
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love this. So we debated how to play the technology of the hologram.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember saying we just need like wires coming out of a glove and a hand, right? Take a look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
We did it before Captain Marvel.
So we can sue Marvel, can't we?
Now, mind you, we did that in a 48-hour weekend. If we had just a little bit of time, Joe, go to the next one. We could have just added that little tiny piece, and it would have been identical.
Yeah. The lights in the end,
Little
yeah.
glows on the tips of the rods. But I remember watching Captain Marvel in the theater and going, "Holy shit!"
Same here.
We did. Look what we did.
Maybe they watched us, watched the short.
That's the story I tell myself.
I want to say for a 48-hour, that ferret is darn cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
He is.
I would love to do a series on Netflix that has the ferret like leading these people all over
Totally.
time.
Oh
Yeah, Steve should totally. You guys should totally write a backstory about the ferret and his world and why he's the big baddie, and that'd be fun.
Clark Smith also says Doctor Who-ish. Yeah, there's definitely some influence of Doctor Who, timey wimey shenanigans going on here. He also
little
wants to know
Terminator.
is Merrick fucking since Randy's goddamn?
It has to be. What else could it be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like giving swear word nicknames to my friends.
I thought that's what I thought it was MF McCarthy, I thought that was the whole thing, because I thought when we were discussing about it, we're
MFM.
like, yeah, let's have Merrick just
I've heard people use
pissed
both.
at the end.
Yeah, I've heard people use both. It's either one. It's fine.
It's fine.
We also have a
I-
little nod to
I think I
Terminator
recall,
in there.
Sorry, that night, and it was Teresa and Mikey and Dave all like throwing stuff at me to say, and they were like, "So let loose," like, and so that just kind of came about. That was all spontaneous and unscripted, and I guess that worked well enough for the final cut.
That was brilliant.
I
Once
wonder
you,
why- I don't even
once
recall
you
what
threw
I
that
was-
one out there, we were done.
He was done. Yeah.
Yes, I
nothing
remember
he
being
came up
quick,
with.
yes.
You came up with that one, and we were like, okay, that's good. We're done.
Hey, Joe, let's bring up those slides. We can start looking at those together.
Yeah, look at the slideshow.
So there's Mighty Morphin Merrick McCarthy.
I was that thing. Look at there. I
That's a
was
good
looking
name.
all right.
Yeah, you were trim, man.
I know. I was looking pretty good.
Well, green is very slimming.
And I love Becky's t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just read that.
You can cycle through, Joe. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Larry's
good job,
eye.
Becky.
Tell us a little bit about doing that makeup effect.
Well, you guys are like, just go, do something. So they were. I remember Mark and Larry were kind of discussing, their backstory a little bit too, But when I mentioned about like doing a scar on the eye and everything, and I was like, I don't want to put like a patch or anything on there. And I also had like some new stuff that I wanted to try out. And so Teresa's like, yeah, go for it. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I was able to try out some new stuff, and yeah, I just went for it. And then it was funny because then Mark was like, well, I wanted something. So I gave him like a little scar.
Like shaving
And then-
scar.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like, yeah. So, maybe, he this was from before, because I guess you guys were discussing backstories and stuff. And then Steve, I kind of did like, the same kind of, scar, like you did that back to him, like maybe you fought with him at some point. So that was my contribute. but yeah, I just wanted to contribute, because Rachel was doing the beauty makeup, so I didn't have that much to do with special effects. So I was like, okay,
The eye was my favorite. The eye looked so awesome.
thanks. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't like cover it up, but I had to keep checking because he said he was laughing so hard, he
It
was
was like-
crying.
Yeah.
And so it was like filled up. I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to drain it? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
Lovely.
I know at one point in time, Schwartzy had Larry cracking up so
Yeah.
hard during a take outside that we couldn't get through the scene, and we had to keep reshooting it because every time Schwartz walked out, Larry just started laughing. We're like, stop! Your
There was
eye-
one time where we were just trying to time the walk so we could bump into each other, and at one point, I guess I started a little bit too soon, and I just walked right past him, and I just said, "How you doing?" and
I
lost.
put that video on there. I was shooting that video.
So we'll see if it'll play. Go ahead and keep advancing, Joe.
All right.
See if
Tell
we
me
get to
when-
something else.
Tell me when
Hey,
to
Mark.
start.
Hey, what camera did we shoot this on?
Mushies.
Mushies, Ursa.
Ursa.
Ursa Mini.
There's my scar.
Yeah, you
Back to that
can.
one.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mushy. So
that's
this
a
was
picture
your
of the sky.
very first time with intellectuals, right?
Yep.
We didn't scare you off, clearly.
That's because I was not in the room when you had the camera over top of people on a ladder. I wasn't there to be.
Keep going, Joe.
Kind of has a Dick Tracy silhouette there.
Yeah.
I remember during lunch, Larry trying to eat pizza and kept missing his face because of the eye.
Yeah, I remember we all just had a real great time watching Larry do stuff with that eye makeup on.
Yeah.
So all his depth perception was gone.
Well, like I remember for the shoot, we were trying to be very specific. I mean, we lost a location at one point in time too. Partway through the day where we were going to end and stuff at. So I remember us trying to, work that stuff out. But I know it was very important to us, especially because it was our birthday weekend and stuff. We did not want to have a stressful shoot. It was supposed to be fun. We were supposed to have a good time. We were going to do whatever weird, quirky things we could come up with. I think we did good. I mean, I had a blast.
For a 48-hour film, I mean, Dave, the writing there's a lot of layers to this, and I thought that was well done. The writing, you have to go back and watch it a couple times. There's things that you will miss if you just watch it once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's a testament to Teresa too, because she took the stuff I wrote and then, worked with the actors to figure out those kind of looks and kind of knowing glances and making sure that got on camera, in those moving one shots. And
yeah,
it was a real team effort to make it as layered as it is. Yeah, that's Jen Allen there, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Taking photos.
Yeah, I remember Mark and Larry for the line of dialogue. You guys did it. You guys worked it out like you guys had been working together for a long time, so you guys set it together.
Oh, that bit. What was the line? It was.
God.
Still works.
Yeah. After all these years, it still works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I loved how you guys delivered that line to each other.
Shut up, bud. Johnny. Oh man.
Sean, our
So
little set
cute.
baby.
Our set baby. He's been on set since he was 6 months old, B?
Wow.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on sets.
That's a long day.
That kid knows how to be on set.
I mean, she's on there. See, she's on since 6 months, and now he's 12 or 8 or 10. That's a long day. It's a 10.
It's a normal shooting day. What you talking about?
I say the most amazing thing that I know about Sean was when we made him up for.
Keep going, Joe.
All right.
Where John Aviles put some burn makeup on him on another film we worked on, and he was such a trooper.
Yep.
Yeah, he fell asleep.
Yeah, literally
right?
fell asleep.
Yeah.
Really like what you did with Whitney's hair, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
So hey, Rachel, this was your first time working with us, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with people individually, but with the intellectual.
Well, I think you came and did the makeup for our intellectual Christmas.
Your headshots. I think that was the catalyst for that.
Yeah. So what did you think? We're a bunch of crazy.
No.
She's like, I'm on the spot. Don't ask me that question in public.
No, we're all in entertainment. Everyone's crazy. I'm crazy. You're crazy. We're all crazy.
We're all crazy. I just
Never a
remember we
boring
had a lot of Filipinas on set, and we were all
Oh
excited.
yeah, represent, right?
Yeah.
Pinoy pride.
We had Joy too, right? Joy was there too. Joy was our AD.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I did audio too there.
Oh, that's right. Wearing multiple hats.
Yeah.
And David too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You pitch in where you got to pitch in on a 48.
Oh yeah,
you know?
48.
Right.
Well,
think,
that's the one thing.
Brian, I
that's-
think you had to take Sean somewhere, so you took off.
Mm,
You had to go to a birthday party or something.
Oh, probably.
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, but that's one thing with our team though, is with intellectuals, you have to be okay to.
Sean, in the last picture,
anything.
Sean was in the background.
Oh,
Sean
was
was in the foreground.
maybe I had to go somewhere.
Go back one more. Isn't that Sean? In his
No.
hand?
No.
In the lower corner?
No, that's Teresa.
Yep, Teresa. Her shape, her
Oh,
shape.
okay.
Yeah, because there's the back of her head on the other shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I wasn't
a
David's-
compliment, Teresa. You were mistaken for a 10-year-old.
David's doing the voice
Just the back
for
of her
the.
I like that shot. That's a pretty shot.
That's down at
Thank you.
That was a studio and scene, right?
Yeah, I like those sunglasses.
Thanks. I wasn't wearing makeup. That's thing I do.
I did like this was one of our longer days, but that's because we went and did the studio and clean stuff. And
Oh yeah, I did the bullet hole too. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy playing the security guard there with the bullet hole in his forehead, that's my buddy Tori. We went to high school together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to get to work with him. We were both in acting
Mushy.
senior year of high school.
Mushy, that's the shot. You went walking, and we're like,
Yeah.
let's do the shot real quick, just
That's
real
what I
quick.
did before I got back.
But that was only half the shot. Because didn't you like take it up over his head?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was emotion, yeah. We we did that.
Hey, that poster.
So we must be at the screening by now on this picture, huh?
That's not
Yeah.
the shoot.
No, it's not.
That's the shoot.
Oh, you had the poster at the shoot?
Yeah.
No, I think I thought
No, this is at the screening
Oh, so you,
this was it. Something, yeah.
or something.
Something
oh,
else.
I guess you did get the. Did someone else post that? Because I think I posted it.
I don't know. I forgot to post
Yeah.
pictures. I'm a
I
good-
told you I uploaded some more posters. I mean, pictures.
I've got the
Good.
poster.
Yeah,
That
this
was at.
was like-
I think that was at the. At
some
stu-
party.
That was at the studio and scenes.
It's the party though, right?
Yeah, there was a
Oh,
poster
yeah.
contest and
Yeah, they did a contest for all the posters.
trailer. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. David was getting a lot of sun that week.
You say David was getting a lot of sun that week?
David's so dark.
Oh,
This is
Dave,
back
the other
when
thing.
David, this is back when we still worked parking lots, right? At the soccer
Yeah.
gig and stuff. So I mean, we were out in the sun a lot.
Yeah, I remember with the title too. You for the rough draft, you sent like a really obscure one. Everybody's like, "What the hell with that title?" That's what
There was
before
another title?
Convolution. Oh yeah, you came up with something totally random and just
Yeah.
for the hell of it. It was a joke one, but yeah, you just go like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, because I wanted everybody to like freak out before I gave
Yeah.
them the real one.
yeah." So this
That
was
sounds
like,
about right.
But yeah, we did a lot of secrets with this movie.
You guys tend to do that, I noticed.
Well,
I didn't notice.
I told
until
you.
told me they were too well kept secrets. I didn't notice till way too late.
yeah, you guys are down there somewhere.
And when do you think we'll ever get to do that again?
Which one? Movies?
Congregate in such large numbers.
Yeah, really.
No.
It's so funny looking at photos and stuff from screenings and whatnot. It seems like so long ago and so unbelievable.
How long ago was this? How long ago was
3
this?
years ago.
3 years ago.
It's 3 years ago
Almost to the
today,
date.
47 years.
right?
Wow.
I was just
47
thinking, like,
years. ago.
Mikey, look at Mikey's hair. My goodness. David's hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but my hair changes all the time, so that's
Well,
not.
so does mine. My hair is red and my sides are shaved. I mean,
Yeah, you and Whitney are the ones that change your hair the most that I notice. Like sometimes I don't even recognize Whitney for, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I go through all sorts of hair things.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Merrick
Teresa-
changes his hair too often for me to keep track.
Yeah. According
yeah,
to
and-
Teresa, Mikey and I have absolutely no idea of how to recognize other people's hair. 'Cause we
Well,
went.
It's
Oh, there's
true.
the team. Look at that.
Oh, that's a good shot. I like that.
It's like a rap photo
Nice
there.
picture.
Is that everybody?
We need
That's
to
everybody.
add in Merrick down at the bottom.
Got plenty of room on the left. We can
Just green screen them
Photoshop
in.
them in there.
No, just do a like a halo just in front of Kayla and
Oh,
do
I
a
see.
ferret.
Oh, the
Exactly.
ferret.
Do a little ferret by Kayla's foot.
Like they do with Tinkerbell and the Disney photos.
Right.
Like a 2-foot tall ferret, Merrick.
Yeah.
There you go. Makeup.
All right, you got 2
How long
shots left.
does that take, Becky?
Huh? Oh,
How long does
gosh.
eye patch take?
I don't know. I think it ended up, it was probably a couple hours, maybe, less because I kept, are you guys done? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? But I did do some touch-ups, he would have to go out and then I would do some touch-ups. But yeah, I was trying this new, it's called fish
That's the last
skin.
shot, David.
Okay. Larry
And,
Cool's got such a serious look anyway, but like with that eye covered, like somehow he looks even more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my partner.
I remember, I do remember on this shoot, I remember after we wrote the movie Friday night, I remember talking to David and I started having like a panic attack. I was having a panic attack because I hadn't really been on set for a few years and stuff. And here I was going to direct, but I'm directing Larry, I'm directing Mark, and like I started freaking out. Like I started freaking out going, I'm like, well, no, these people are like, the real thing. And I don't know, I'm like, oh man, I almost gave it up. I told David he was going to have to do it. I remember telling David, I'm like, nope, I don't think I
So
should
if
do
that
it.
was your first one after a hiatus, I couldn't have told I couldn't have known that. It felt the set was a lot of fun, kept things light, and moved along in this pretty complex story. I just thought it was well done. I had a lot of fun. Some of these, as everybody knows, can be rushed, can be stressful, and nothing comes of it. And you think, oh, I'm never going to do another 48-hour because of that last experience. But I mean, I really did. I had a great time on it, and it felt like you've been doing a lot of stuff. If that was your first one back, I was fooled.
Well, thank you, Mark. Yay, I fooled somebody.
But I'm easily fooled, so there we go.
Well, there you go. See? Fantastic.
Well,
But
they
I mean,
just-
that's one thing I remember is just I remember having a full freak. I had a full freak out. I said, no, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. It's just, I don't think I should do this. I don't think. And then we're like, oh, then we're gonna have Merrick. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, fine. Just give me everybody. It's okay. It's all right. Like, no, I mean, I knew everybody to be, I've been around. I went to screenings. I went and saw everybody's stuff. I mean, I know who everybody was. I just hadn't been around for a while. That was one thing I remember the most about this was really freaking out about having to do all this. And I hadn't worked with Mikey, and I didn't really know Mikey, and I didn't know Mushy. And I mean, little did I know this became the start of the triplets being inseparable and stuff. I love you, Mushy. He's gonna
He's
hate
muted.
me forever for that name, but
I just
he's
said.
gonna.
Can you tell us how he got the nickname?
What?
Can you tell us how he got the nickname Teresa?
Yeah. So
here it comes.
No,
Where's Mushy? Here we go.
So if you know Mr. Michael Shane Bowles as well as any of the rest of us do, you understand that he likes to be angsty and dark and Mr.
You don't have to say it.
I'm going to be all mad and angry at the world. But deep down, he's this squishy, lovable little mushy man inside. And so I started calling, he went on one of his rants during this shoot. And I was like, oh, you're just so sweet and lovable and mushy. Ooh, mushy. And then it
sucked.
No, yeah, it sucked. No, I'm like, stuck. Yeah.
But you know, it's funny. So we'll say that. We've gone on other teams and stuff, and people are like, why do you call him mushy? We're like, just give it time. You'll understand that he's squishy inside. You'll get it. And it takes about half a day, and they all, one by one, they all come up and go, you know what, you're right. He is mushy. He is squishy.
Never happened. There's never been a line that you were right about my nickname. Ever.
We should take a quick consensus from the team.
Yep.
This is not my show.
Now, he has tried very hard on several different shoots to change his nickname to something else.
Well, last time it was T-Rex. I tried to help him get that going. But
you and I are the only ones that made that mistake.
I still go with it once in a while.
Joe, you're his favorite, so you know.
Because they don't call him mushy.
You don't call him mushy.
You know, at work, actually, during our work Zoom meetings, I have the video of me in the dinosaur suit deflating in the background. And then I've actually had coworkers be like, I'm not listening because his thing is doing that. Can you turn it off?
I love that.
Watching that.
I remember.
Hey, Mikey, Mike Peterson.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about how you approached shooting this movie?
Sure.
You'd worked with us, but not in the capacity of being a cinematographer before. So, like, how?
You were DP for Diego's, right?
Yeah, I DP Diego's, and then so this was after Bittersweet and Discontinuance. And and I had worked with you guys, with other films and stuff. But the entire thing, like, about doing this as our last 48, when we originally were like, okay, we're done doing 48s. But like, we just want to do it nice, easy for us. Not, all these different locations and all that kind of stuff. So we had the soccer field or the soccer office. And I wanted, just kind of flat office lighting. We had a second location in place, but that fell through the day of. We ended up getting studio and scene later on. But for the most part, I wanted to go into this fairly easy on the lighting, but a little bit more with the camera work. So like when they come in, I think Dave, you and I talked about making this a nice little kind of one shot just to bring out the drama in the scene. This was my first time using, this is the second time using the Ursa Mini. So I knew it was a little limited on lighting, so I overlit just a little bit. And then when we got into studio and scene, that was where we used a little more of the trick photography of the video. Like I think I put my I think we had my GoPro up in the corner for the security camera shot, or somebody's iPhone.
Yeah, it was either a phone or a GoPro.
And then, yeah, I forgot what it was that I needed Mushy to grab, one of his pieces of equipment. I'm like, okay, go out, get your car. We had to park in North Park, way far away.
Far away.
So while he's going to get the equipment,
I'm like, okay.
Quick, ladder shot, do it now. It's his camera. Sorry.
You took a picture of it, and then I saw it on Facebook. I saw it before I walked back in. It was like,
we
didn't
do it. We finished the shot. We were just waiting for him, and he walks in and goes, "Excuse me, what's this?" And he shows us this picture. We're like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Who did that?
We posted on the internet.
That's hilarious. Real quick, going through everybody. Let me know what were your thoughts when you first saw the movie and actually saw the ferret and kind of how this convoluted story came together. Let's start with Merrick, because Merrick's the one who had the most significant digital character.
Right, sure, that makes sense. My first impression was that it fit the title, and there's a lot going on, and I wanted to see so much in all these different characters, and of course it's 48, so you've got 7 minutes. I think you did a really great job of compressing all that into this story that still made it very interesting and fun to watch. But again, I this is one of those examples of 48 where this is something that you should look at developing further. I mean, that's what I saw in the work and the skill that you put into doing this. And I'm happy to be a part of it. Again, that night I had no idea what the hell was going on. It was David, it was Teresa. I love you guys. You asked me to come down. I came down. I didn't care. Wear a tight, green suit. All right, I guess my balls hanging out. All right, fine. Let's do it. I'm with you. So yeah.
Merrick, we love you so much. And you are amazing that you were just like, you know what, because it's you two, I'm
just gonna roll with it.
Like, it was the best thing. It was like probably one of the best birthday presents ever. I mean, I laugh to this day, and it's probably the best thing. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Same here, because notoriously they make me do things during a 48.
Very true. We normally make Steve do all those sorts of things.
Yes.
I know. First, you dip them into a bowl of cereal for 7 minutes straight. Now you.
I was in a diaper once.
He was in a diaper as Cupid. He's been
dirt all over.
Yeah.
A banana dipped in mayonnaise and mustard.
Well, and he's the super creepy guy for an entire feature film. What's the VIG? Available on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
There it is.
Now streaming on Amazon Prime. So
So by the way, David, I tried to write a review for that, and they're like, "No, we're not going to post your review because you never write reviews." So until you write, it was seriously, I was like, "What the is this?" It rejected my review because it's like, "Yeah, you could be just a friend of theirs." I'm like, "Wait a minute, how do you know?"
That's messed up. Hey, we're not going to let you post reviews because you never post reviews.
Yeah.
So you're not.
Yes, but
can't
you
post
could make
any-
an exception here because he's Merrick fucking MacArthur.
Come on now.
Mark Allen, what were your thoughts of the film when you got to see it?
Well, I mean, like Merrick, the story was. I thought that it was a really cool story, that really smart, and like I said, I think you had to watch it a couple of times to really get all the little nuances in it. I loved my character and Randy's, and like Merrick said, I'd like to see that, in something else. The two of them. I thought the ferret was, because I didn't know anything about it. I just knew you guys were going to do some green screen thing with Merrick. So when it popped up on the screen, I started laughing. But the after the credits scenes with Merrick was, like I said, I think the audience, that was the biggest roar I had heard in a long time. But I really, from the beginning of the day that I was there till the time I left, I had a great time, and everybody was working really well together, and Teresa did a fantastic job. So I mean, it was a great experience, and I loved working on it.
Cool. Becky and Rachel, like how did you guys feel about the film when you saw it finally?
I liked it. It was, obviously it's a very convoluted film. So there's a lot of layers, and I only had like some idea of what it was going to be, but when you see the actors in costume and you start to see the makeup take shape, and you're on set, and it becomes like it's just more real and comes alive. And you know, and seeing it just, you know, when you see it all strung together, it was pretty great, you know. And Merrick the ferret, that was a huge surprise, but it was funny.
What about you, Becky? How did you like seeing the eye makeup on the big screen?
Oh, it was pretty cool, and the reactions were, were great.
You could hear people whispering to each other when Larry showed up on screen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was cool, and I appreciated, being able to just go for it. And but like Teresa was saying, I was nervous about working with Larry, Mark, and Merrick, but I'd seen them and everything, but then it was like, oh no, they're really cool. Except for Merrick. I'm just kidding. No, I was like nervous about putting the dots on her. I was like, okay, I don't want to mess this up, because then I also had like those the younger kids like looking, like, oh my god, they're gonna use green screen. Oh no, and we're just like, yeah. But
I remember, oh my gosh, I remember going
if
up
you
to
only
Becky and
knew.
Rachel. I remember going up to you guys and going, okay, so do me a favor. I need you to put white dots on Merrick's face. And they're like, what? I go, we're going to pretend we're motion capturing. And
That was
they're
so
like,
funny. I'm like,
I don't
are we
know
doing
where it
motion
goes. I'm like,
caps? And you're like, no, we're gonna pretend. I'm like,
I'm
what?
pretending. They're like, but nobody, they're like, we don't know where it goes. I'm like, nobody here knows where the dots go on the face.
Yeah, I looked it up. I'm sitting there like, okay, let's do this, and
the lighting in the studio was really bad. So we're like, let's just go with it. It's not real anyway.
But yeah, it was a fun shoot, and yeah, I like being able to do other things too, on my, because if I'm not doing the special effects, I'll help out and everything. So it was cool being able to wear multiple hats, and and seeing it all come together, because I wasn't like involved with like taking the pictures and doing everything, so I kind of saw it, but then actually see it on the big screen, going like, oh wow, cool, it worked out. And then the visual effects, yeah, bravo to that team, because they actually won an award.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, for
they
did.
Was it titles or
they won special effects?
Yeah, special effects. So
for this,
so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was a ferret.
Great.
There was one visual effects that I did in the movie that nobody realizes, but the blood effect when the guy gets shot in the head, the splatter on the floor behind him, that was all added in by me during the edit process. So we got there and I was like, oh, who's gonna do that? Because Mike was already like gone and done. Guess I'm doing it. But necessity breeds invention, so I figured it out. Michael Shane, this was like your first movie with us, right?
Yes.
So what do you remember of that experience?
I remember it's a really long day.
I gotta find it.
I was fully on my game until probably shortly after we went to studio and scene. At that point, I started to be tired, and that's when the other two realized I get cranky at a certain time.
You figured out your limits.
About 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, right about that.
This was your first 48 as well, period, right?
No, I had done 2 before this.
Okay.
But those 2 weren't quite as committed to the cause as yours. So, they just like, oh, we're starting at 1 tomorrow. I'm like, okay, that's late. And you guys are like, no, we're gonna actually start at 6, and you're not going.
This was a little different from our normal 48 routine, though, because we didn't require everybody to stay with us the whole time, which has been kind of a trademark of our team since we started in 2007. Like usually it's a big sleepover and nobody leaves until they're done with their role, but And we didn't want to make it that stressful this time. So
Yeah.
well, like, yeah, people show up, they show up. If they don't show up, they're out. Like whatever.
You want me to go get something?
We figured it out.
Yeah.
Schwartz, what were your thoughts on the film?
Well, I was with you at the time when you were writing the script, so you were just handing me the script, and when you finished it, because I was sleeping most of the time, I was sent home. Something about snoring on
I don't
set.
think everybody heard you the first 3 times.
Yes. Because something about me snoring on set, they just didn't like it. So David showed me the script, and I was like, ferret? Okay. And I said, okay, go with it. Go with it. Yeah. I thought it was really, really, really funny for the reveal to being a ferret at the end. But that was mostly my contribution to that. But I had a lot of fun with Larry Poole, making him break up.
It's a shame Larry couldn't join us today. It's always a lot of fun to work with Larry Poole.
Do we have those outtakes?
They're on there. I know which one is the one that you pass.
I don't know. We have to ask Joe if Joe can pull up one of those videos that was shared.
I can tell you the number.
Where was it shared to? In the group?
It was shared into that photos folder.
The photos. Okay. Let me see what I can dig up.
There were some videos in
So
there.
while he's looking, let's go to the next person. Who's next?
Okay.
Brian, your thoughts?
I thought it was hilarious. I thought the whole ferret idea, and then how we then produced the ferret, and it wasn't like cartoony, but it wasn't really, it was fairly realistic. But I liked how the special effects made everything seem like a straight up science fiction. Oh, this is cool. And then like, wait, a ferret? What? And then the end with Merrick, and that not only the dots were fake, the morph suit was fake, and the green screen was fake, and it's like there was no reason for him to be on camera, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Becky, you need to send that link to Joe.
I know. I realized that.
But there's like 8 of them in there.
Delete.
I'm not sure which one to pick.
It's 1 second.
Yeah, tell them the file
Even
name,
the-
Becky.
Yeah.
Even the story itself, the back and forth.
I can
I'm
play
always
one while
just-
you're looking. Want me to play something while we're looking?
Hold on, Joe. Quiet.
No?
Go ahead, Brian.
But I'm a big time travel fan. I like to watch anything with time bounces back and forth and redos and such like that. So I really enjoyed how that was all handled. And is it available online that people can go back and watch a bunch of times?
Yes, I believe it's available on our Vimeo channel, which you can get to at our website, ixe.us. A bunch of our 48s are available there. Definitely
What's the
check it out.
possibility
It is also available on our Facebook page, Intellectual Entertainment, which you may already be on if you're watching this live on Facebook.
Can we throw these onto Amazon Prime as well, or is there?
All right,
is
Joe,
there
I
any
sent it
reason?
to you.
What did you send? Where did you send it?
Everything going on Amazon Prime
Messenger.
costs money to
You
start
sent
with.
it to Facebook Messenger. Okay.
So I am judicial in what I put up there based on what I think is gonna actually draw attention.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this right now. Let me, yeah.
Still trying to figure it out, Joe?
Well, I got, like I said, I got a bunch of them in there. It's hard to know.
Well, I have the file number is on there.
Oh, the file number on the link on the message you sent me has the file number.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cute because in the video they're facing each other in the top. It's really sweet.
He's like, hi there.
Wait, look, each of them is looking at their own computer.
So Teresa, you had talked about being scared going into the weekend. How did you end up feeling as it came to an end?
Oh, I feel terrified. I was pretty sure I screwed something up, but like we've talked about in previous, we surround ourselves with really good people, and that's really what got this film done, was the fact that we have this really good set of people that and I've talked about this when I did the directors talk. I am big on letting the talent of everyone around us, shine through and help guide where sometimes where the films go. I'll have some specific ideas and stuff like that as a director, but a lot of the times I do like to hear what everybody's input is, based on, like, with Mark and Larry figuring out their little bit of backstory and how they were going to be together, and Mushy and Mike, together, the two of them, they work really good together to come up with some really good shots and some pretty looking things. And Brian with the audio, and David with the writing, and just everyone with their own comedic, because this is supposed to be comedy too, and Merrick coming up with his, his funny lines there at the end, just letting it riff. I strongly believe that some of the most magical moments come from allowing the talent around us to really just shine through. So if I did anything right, I did that.
You got that video ready, David.
And everybody else makes me look semi good. So, I appreciated that my first time back in was with such a great group of people.
Yeah, I can agree with that. All right, Joe, if you've got that video, let's see what everybody's talking about. Let's see what this is.
All right.
This was Steve colliding into Larry, yeah?
That was
great timing.
Did you have the audio on? Because he's like, hey there.
I thought I had.
Yeah.
Great, Steve.
Let's run it again with the audio.
What
No,
happened?
let it keep playing. Because I try again.
Yeah.
And it's still all over the place. We had no idea it was going to be. Yeah. There's Larry dying of laughter. We had no idea that just having one person walk into another was going to be so complicated.
Well,
you got one-eyed Larry and Steve, so maybe we should have realized it would be difficult.
Yeah.
Let me remind everyone
And
that
Steve's on the bad eye side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Steve's walking in on the blind side, so.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the point, was the idea that Larry wouldn't see him coming.
I
That's
can run
too
it
funny.
with you guys. Let me know if I should run it again or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve likes watching himself. You can play it again.
Do you have the audio?
I don't know.
No?
That looks
There
like
it
a
is.
big,
Oh yeah.
big
Yeah, it's
Jewish
gone.
Barney in here.
Okay.
That is
Yeah,
so.
but it was.
It's very
I'm videotaping it. It was like, oh my god.
And now we got the audio. Larry really laid in his shoulder into that one.
Yeah.
But he stared him down with his one good eye.
That's fun times.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, guys, thanks for the trip down memory
Wait,
lane.
hold on. I think Mike needs to go, and then you, Dave.
Oh, yeah, Mikey P, your thoughts?
Fun film. I think like Teresa was saying, was more the experience of making this one. For me, this was by far the most involved I've been with any of our films. I was actually there for majority of the writing, which I had never been before. Usually I was either working or doing something else. I always came late. So I was at least part of the creative process a little bit in that. So that was kind of fun for me. The other main thing was the fact that I worked with Michael, Shane, and Kayla on a previous project. So bringing them into the fold for you guys, I'm like, you guys will love these two. And so working with new people, that was fun bringing them in. And we all worked great together. And it was just a fun set. So overall, the movie was just a fun experience. And yeah, the ferret is by far obviously the best part.
I love the ferret. I love the ferret, and I love that Merrick's the ferret. Like, that's my favorite thing about the movie. Yeah, so my thoughts on the film is we had as a team made a decision we weren't going to do 48s anymore. But I wanted to get Teresa back involved in making movies because it had been a long time since she'd really been super involved. The 48 fell, right in the middle of our birthdays. On the weekend, we would normally have celebrated our birthday. And so when we got to thinking about it, it was like, well, the only way we're going to be able to get some of our friends together with us on our birthday weekend is to make a movie, because all of our friends are filmmakers in San Diego who will be inevitably making movies because of the 48. So we made the decision to do one more 48. And I told Teresa, if we're going to do it, I want you to direct because I want you to be more involved. And she was pretty resistant, as she usually is. Because when it comes to Teresa accepting herself as being worthy of doing things, she has a difficult time of it. And it was very important to me to kind of put my foot down and say, I'm not directing this, you're directing it. And I remember like being on set and saying, I'm the writer, I'm here to answer writing questions. And I, for the most part, unless I got pulled in to do audio or something, I sat in the other room and made sure I was nowhere available for people to make the mistake of falling into asking me questions. They had to deliberately come find me if they wanted my opinion on stuff, because I wanted to respect Teresa as a artist, as a filmmaker, and give her that freedom and that space to really excel and be the amazing person that I know she can be. So for me, the fact that the movie came out as well as it did and is as enjoyable to watch as it is, it's a point of pride for me, not because I wrote it, but because my sister directed it, and I think she's pretty awesome. So that's my thoughts on Convolution.
Yeah,
guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everybody who's on Facebook, who's been watching, and Twitter and YouTube. If you want to watch more of our stuff, please visit us at ixe.us. You can check out our Vimeo page from there. You can go to our YouTube channel from there. You can also check out all of our podcasts. I would also recommend you look for our films on Amazon Prime. We've got a few of them there, including our feature film, What's the Vig? You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll no longer have to kiss $2 goodbye to watch it. So it's great. It's free, if you're a Prime member.
Just 90 minutes.
It's 90 minutes long, yes. Guys, thank you so much. Joe, if you can put them all on screen one last time before we go to the goodbye video. I love you all. Please continue to stay safe as quarantines start to be lifted. And, someday we'll be able to safely gather and make another movie together. And I look forward to that day.
Hugs to you all.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Joe, let's roll that title card.